How many of you are as excited as I am about this video? Dear God, I suspect a lot of you are. You can understand how much I am. What I'm gonna do, this is the first time I've done this in probably all of my videos except for one. It was a test before. If you like this video series, please click on the like in the video. I actually wanna see some engagement on that, and the reason why is I understand that these videos are not four rotors burning out and revving and two-stepping, but this is genuine content, and obviously I'm spending a lot of money in the process, but really I don't want to compromise on making these videos. I want these to continue coming out, and so I want to see a little bit more engagement. If you like it, like it. If we can get over 3,000 likes, that's awesome. You know what, if we get under 3,000 likes, still happening anyway. I just want to see YouTube see me getting good engagement on videos that mean a lot. Today's adventure hopefully is all of the tubing that finishes the chassis. I'm not gonna put these guys under super amounts of pressure, even though we're about 2 weeks behind in terms of progress that we were originally intending, but in this case, I want quality results at the end of the day, and these guys are producing that. The goal is to get the entire rear chassis tubed in and finished. Oh dear God, that would look beautiful when that's done. So I'm up here because we've talked about doing some crazy things in the engine bay, and then I happened to peek over. I didn't even notice this at first, but oh my God, this is a dream come true. Yes, 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 yes. The beginning of the back chassis being finished. Oh, that's so sick. What you are seeing is a lot of, I would say rework, but it's not really rework. The initial stuff was just put in there. Of course, I don't think Abel would agree with me on this, but the initial stuff was put in there to try and figure things out. And I'm willing to do it all right this time. We're currently looking at moving the engine over about 1.5 inches. It looks a little bit more than that, but that allows for so much more room on this side of the car. Interesting thing is that it is kind of weight biased to this side, so shifting the motor over a little bit is something I was willing to do because of the turbo, because of the front diff, and because of the transfer case. There is a weight distribution off-centered. Hopefully this centers it up just a little bit. Well, it looks like more has been taken out than put in, and that might be the case at the moment, but holy crap, this is making sense. This is all coming together, and not only are we shifting the engine closer to me, which sounds like a bad thing, we're actually capable of making the seat sit closer to the engine. So yes, there might be some heat-love exchange there, but it allows for so much more. The challenge I have right now is that pedal is actually my brake pedal, or the existing RX-7 brake pedal, so there really isn't room for a gas pedal on that side, so everything might be shifted over a little bit. RX-7s are notorious for already being very small, compact cars, so this will be a challenge, but that's a great problem to have considering the drivetrain is really well balanced and the chassis is making one major step forward. The view from back here is just nuts. You can't really get the scope of just how much beautiful machinery is involved in this. It just all in one shot looks a little overwhelming, and there's just a lot of crap everywhere, but Jesus, this is just something, a thing of beauty. I'm very happy with where this is going. I always make the joke that this thing looks like some sort of like space BFG cannon rocket launcher, nuke launcher. If you were to pick that whole drivetrain up and hold it over your shoulder, just, you don't see anything like that. That is such a weird looking drivetrain. I love it. After all of that discussion, look at how this is coming together. First of all, there is going to be the main pulley. So you're going to have an axle nut off of the E-shaft coming out to somewhere in that range. This CV joint will have obviously a CV here, a boot, and that fits not only down but forward from where this is at. So the diff is already at a decent spot. It could go even lower, but I am very pleased with where this is going. You can see here, you see what I'm seeing. The U-joint flange right there looks like it's right in the way of the exhaust housing, and it is, but the exhaust housing also curves down instead of going up like it traditionally did to fit the drive shaft over it. Now, we can fit the drive shaft under it. Right there's a nice and simple way to see just how much the engine has been moved over to the driver's side. That hole right in the center of that little flange aiming down used to be directly in line with that red bushing right there. So we're about, I would say 2 to 3 inches, maybe 2 inches. I'm looking at it from obviously an angle here. But again, the whole drivetrain is right biased anyway. At least from this view, it's left biased, but right biased. So it really does balance out the center of the car even more. There you have the very first test fitment. Of course, I'm missing the brake rotor in the rear, so let me put the hat back on. So that way you can see the correct width of how wide the rear really is. There you go. Well, it doesn't look too bad from a distance. Oh my god, it is a wide ass car. There is no toe link on it, so the rear tires can actually turn. In theory, we could have rear turning if we put another steering rack in there, but there's zero reason for that on this car. That definitely shows you I'm gonna need wider rear tires, and that's exactly what I designed it for, wider rear tires. These are 10.5-inch wide wheels, rims. I've designed it for 13, giving us an extra of almost 2 inches in the rear. Right there you can see the method to my madness. That little notch right there in the upper control arm and the subsequent equal one on that side is meant for a wider rear tire. Not only wider, but those are 19-inch wheels, and I can fit up to 17-inch with 2 extra inches of width. So a lot of meaty tire can fit in the back here. That is a massive difference, a complete total overhaul from the Unicorn, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I do want to point out that is the position of the upper control arm that would test it the most, that when the tire is completely extended looking for ground, you see the upper control arm potentially making contact with the wheel. Not in this case. My god, is that wide.
That's too much cool, the big ass tire.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, see how narrow those wheels look now? Yeah.
We're gonna do these 2 tubes. We're gonna notch these in here. 3 of them. But this will be an 8-inch overall. That'll go right up and right along the back, and we'll hide everything that got cut off.
Oh, nice.
Without being too big across the backside. And then we're gonna bend obviously our tubes out to the corners, the bottom ones as well. And then I think we're gonna do a couple of tubes like this on the top.
Okay.
So that it, if it hits a corner, it won't shift it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just push it over real easy.
Yeah.
And it'll look cool. We'll do them out of a lot smaller tubing. Do our 2 gussets up to here like we talked about. I think that's fine.
What's that, going from here to here?
Yeah, no, going from there to there like we talked about, but then going from the bend like we talked about up top into that drive shaft loop.
Oh, because this would be minor cut, however he's going to do it. Now we just run one.
We'll tie it all together.
So I'll bend this one out,
Yep.
and I'll do this, mimic this
Yep.
when he has that in.
Yep.
Okay. Got more tubes in it.
Oh, I like tubes.
I'm gonna weld that up and cap it, and then we can do these 4 rear tubes, and then the back of the car is tubed. And so Brandon's doing that loop now. He's working on the 2 tranny tunnel tubes to put back in. Then we can work on the tranny mount tubes.
Brandon's working on the whole chassis centerpiece, kind of the or the center of my whole car. Corey's working on the rear bumper right now, and Marvin is attaching the rear subframe to the rest of the chassis.
We're probably both gonna need to get in here so we can center it out, and then you tack one side, I tack the other.
So what's that? That's going up against the back of it?
Yeah,
Or is that
yeah.
just floating out the bottom here.
Right up against the back up top.
Nice.
Above the wire there. Yeah, no, leave the skid plate off. Thank you.
Already you can see there's a little lean to it
5/16,
right
yeah.
now. It's not perfectly flat. Come up, you know, that's a little bit closer still.
I can jump in it and we can. Today has been a day I've looked forward to for a long time. I have finally put the rear tires on the correct rear chassis. No more 8 inches of spacers on each side, the stock FD subframe just hanging in the wind. This is the real car. It is the real lower part of the chassis that is complete. The guys are running the tubes all to the upper parts right now. As a result, we had to cut and slash some of the inside, but it makes it so much better. The front diff is the even bigger one and it fits. We shifted the motor over a little bit, balances everything out. My God, this looks amazing. Right there you can see the method to my madness that little nut. Right there you can see the method to my madness that little God damn it. What would that